cups? Are there cups somewhere on the table?
Okay, shalom everybody. Welcome to my home. And this will be like a type of a prep. Oh, here we go. 9 o'clock, the pizzas are ready. Okay. So this is like a preparation for Purim. Just a few jokes before we start Bezat Hashem. This is an old joke, but it's a very funny joke. So there was an American, an Israeli, and a Punjabi, and they asked all three to make a sentence with the words yellow, pink, and red. Am I right? Red, yellow, pink, and green. Sorry. So the American, who's from the south, he says, I wake up in the morning, I see the nice yellow sun, the nice pink rose, nice green grass. The Israeli, I wake up in the morning, I count my American green dollar, and my wife wearing my favorite pink dress, make me my favorite yellow sunny side up egg. The Punjabi, I wake up in the morning, and the telephone go green, 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 and I pink up the telephone, I say hello. You're not laughing, come on, I'm trying to get a laugh there. Okay. One more, maybe this one will work. It's also a good joke. A guy gets a phone call from his wife, and he says, yes, dear. And she says, tell me a joke. And he says, Hania, in the middle of Kolel, you know. She says, tell me another joke. Okay, I'm trying. By the end of the class, we'll have some more jokes. Okay, so this is a very special time now, this period between Shabbat Zachor and Purim. There's a lot you can accomplish in life, okay? In Rabbi Nachman's teachings, Purim is considered one of the biggest opportunities of the year, of your life even, and of the year, to get in whatever you're stuck in. He said like this, he said, until now, all beginnings were from Pesach, because Pesach is Zecher Litziat Mitzrayim, commemorating the leaving of Egypt, but now, he said in Yiddish, Unheint, but now, and he didn't complete the sentence. Rav Nosson, his disciple, he completed the sentence. He said, I understood from Rabbi Nachman's gestures and motions that he indicated that all beginnings are now from Purim. Purim in Breslov is very, very big. Not just the getting drunk and the dancing happiness, which for sure you have to do, and to reach the maximum, but also the gifts that are pouring down to the world on Purim, and you have to be there to have your hands open to receive it, Bezat Hashem. Okay? So let's go step by step to the stages between today, Shabbat Zachor, until the end of Purim. Shabbat Zachor, okay? We had a Torah obligation to hear the Parsha, to hear Parshat Zachor, okay? What's so big about this Parsha, Zachor? To remember that it's Amalek who's the problem and not you. All year round, Amalek in the head, Amalek is Gematria, Safek, doubts. Amalek in the head, he's the one who convinces you you're the problem. What did Chazal teach? Chazal say that Amalek comes down, the force of Amalek, the spiritual force, he tests a person, he makes him break, and then he oleo mekatre, he goes up, and in front of the heavenly court, you say, you see, look at him, look at that. So it's not just in the heavenly court, but the heavenly court in your mind, what you're going through. He's the one also telling you, look at you, you're such a loser, you're never going to make it. You're trying to lose weight for 50 years, it's not going to work. You're trying to break your ta'ava, trying to stop chas v'shalom, it's pornography, whatever. You're trying to stop and trying to become holy. Forget, you're just so bad. You're never going to make it. All the guilty feelings is coming from him, not you. Okay? You might think, but you have to confess. Yeah, you have to confess, but at the right time. But not when you're down on the bottom, and then to feel bad. Rabbi Nachman once said, Yitzhara is not so much into the actual making a person sin. He's into the breaking a person after he's fallen, to break him and to keep him low there. That's what the Yitzhara wants. Yitzhara being Amalek, okay? Shabbat Zachor is a gift in that, wait a second, it's not me. It's this evil force that's pushing me. And on top of that, he's convincing, no, it's you. Zachor is, hey, wait a second, separate. Okay? Why is this important? Because so long as you're convinced that you're guilty and you're at fault, you can never really cry out to Hashem. You can't cry out to Hashem if now you believe I'm at fault. So you don't daven enough. I'm guilty. So you have this negative feeling, keeping you low esteem, everything low, and you never get to open up your heart. Once though you know it's an external force, then you can cry out and say, Hashem, help me. Then I have the ability to cry, because now I don't have this pressure keeping me down and low. Now I know that's an external force that's keeping me down, so now I can cry out. That's Tanit Esther. Tanit Esther, the goal of Tanit Esther with the slichot that we say in Tanit Esther is in order that a person should begin to feel the pain of what he's going through Amalek, and then to really cry out like Mordechai did. Vayzak za'aka gdola umara. It says in the Megillah that he cried out because he knew the decree against Am Yisrael. So every Jew on Tanit Esther, we try to relive feeling the actual pain of what I'm going through all year round, all the setbacks, all the downs, and from that pain to express a krechts, a crying out from the slichot of Tanit Esther. That's why Tanit Esther is a big day. It's the day that they went to battle, right? But today, on a practical level, what that translates is that I'm in my battle with the Yetzer Hara, who's trying to kill me, I'm able to let out a deep, deep cry to Hashem from the pain of the accumulation of the pain of the whole year that I've gone through, to let it out on Tanit Esther. Now, according to number one, Zachor, how you recognize it's not you, the enemy, it's him. Number two, crying out on Tanit Esther, then you're able to approach Purim properly. The gift of Purim, okay? We say the Megillah twice, night of Purim and day of Purim. Why is it enough once? Why did Chazal institute, have to read one at nighttime, one a day, just to commemorate the thing? Let us read the Megillah once. The day is the best time. Everyone gets up, it's a time. Night, people are busy, this and that, to get everyone to come to shul, whatever. Or the opposite, make it at night when everyone's after work. and then that's it. Why did they say twice? They want you to read the Megillah in an attitude of darkness and an attitude of light. To explain, when now you read the Megillah story and it's nighttime physically, and it's also reflecting the spiritual nighttime, it's that you do the part of the Megillah, you activate the part of the Megillah that deals with the night, which is now feeling closest to Hashem. You cried out already on Tanit Esther, ideally. So now on Purim, the night is ideal time to put in requests. To explain, the Maggid of Mizrich, he explains the halacha as follows. The following halacha. Halacha is that on Purim, anybody who sticks out their hand, notnim lo. Kol poshet yad, notnim lo. Right? The halacha is your neighbor, he has the 3 garage door, Lamborghini, Mercedes, and everything. He goes out collecting on Purim, you give him. You don't say, he has rich, he has money. All year round, you can have doubts, who you can reserve who you give tzedakah to and who not. But on Purim, anybody asks for tzedakah, kol poshet yad, notnim. That's halacha. Even though he has money and everything, and he's asking, we don't care, we give, okay? So the Maggid says it's also between man and Hashem. That on Purim, it's a special day, perpetuous day, that no other time in the year has it, that anybody who requests from Hashem, specific request on Purim, Hashem is open to give more than any other time of the year. So now the question is when to ask to Hashem. When to ask Hashem. To ask during the day, it's not easy because the day is ready, everybody's happy, exciting, drinking and everything. The time to ask is at nighttime. So by Breslov, for example, even though in halacha it says you hear the Megillah at nighttime, but you guys are fasting, right? You're fasting, so you have the Megillah right after you eat a meal. There's a Suda, there's a mitzvah to eat. But then, as opposed to partying on the night of Purim, to go to bed early and to try to wake up from any time after midnight, and that special golden time from midnight of Purim until Netz is the most precious time of the year to pour out your requests to Hashem. Okay? In halacha, I just want to show the halacha comparison. In halacha, the halacha of giving tzedakah, giving matanat evanim is when? On the day of Purim. If you give matanat evanim on the night of Purim, you're not yotzeh. But a guy who's asking tzedakah for Purim, he's allowed to ask already on the night. He'll collect. I see some people, what they do is on the night of Purim, they announce to everyone, Rabbi Isai, I'm collecting for my father, he's making a wedding, so please give nicely tomorrow. He makes an announcement on the night, and they know to expect, so for him he's going to come. I know he's coming, so I'll set aside the $20 for him because I know he's coming tomorrow to collect. Because he made an announcement on the night. So too now, you can ask Hashem your request on the night of Purim. The best time, like we said, is from midnight until morning. And then Hashem does his part to give you what he decides. He'll say, okay, I decree that you will get, and he decides to give you on the day of Purim. You won't necessarily get it on Purim, but expect to get it eventually because you put in your prayers. So it's a very, very special time to request Hashem. So the night of Purim is reserved in Breslov. They make a big deal to go to bed early. There are buses running every hour from Yerushalayim in this neighborhood, the Breslov neighborhoods, taking people to go to the forest to do hitbodedut on the night of Purim. They had a big thing of every hour having a bus to pick up people from all the bus stops. People are waiting 12, 1, by our night. Yeah, they have also in Beitar, they have in Beit Shemesh. It's a known thing. And people are not even breslov, they're into it because they recognize the value of this devotion of asking Hashem. So they have buses picking up people. And if you don't feel comfortable going to the forest, you want to do it anywhere. You don't have to. Just ideal to go to the forest and do hitbodedut. It's great. But if you can't, wherever, on a balcony, on the street, wherever, in a bedroom, a living room, whatever, okay? But the main thing is not to lose this opportunity of the night of Purim. It is a once in a year opportunity. The wording of Rav Nosson in the prayer that he writes for, this I didn't mention yet, we'll go into the prayer. But the wording is of the Arizal, there's a light called Ha'arat Mordechai, the light of Mordechai, which doesn't shine not even on Shabbat, not even on Yom Kippur. It's a light that shines once a year, and it's a shine of major benevolence, major goodness, major kindness of Hashem. Because that's basically the whole miracle of Purim, is what? Like we say what Ashkenazim say in the Shoshanat Yaakov prayer on the night of Purim after the Megillah, Lehodia, the song, Lehodia, Shekol Kovecha, Lo Yevoshu Velo Yikalmu Lanetzach Kol HaChosibach. The whole purpose of Purim is to make known to a person and to the world at large that anybody who puts their trust in Hashem, Kol Kovecha, all those who put their hope in Hashem, Lo Yevoshu, won't be put to shame, Velo Yikalmu Lanetzach, and won't be, what's another term for shame? There's a shame and embarrassed, Lanetzach, forever, Kol HaChosim Bach. That's the whole purpose of Purim. That anyone who turns to Hashem, they did the right thing. They say, look, you're turning to Hashem, look at you didn't get anywhere for years and this, and look, and then you avoided this world, you could have fun in this world, instead you're just davening and tshuva, and look where you got. And the answer is no. We hold on because we get it in the end. It comes in the end. When it comes big time. The salvation comes like a big bang, B'ezrat Hashem. That's the whole message of Purim. Okay? So, I want to go through Purim, and then I want to give you a practical handle to use to get ready between now and Purim, B'ezrat Hashem. So, in breslov circles, there's the Megillah. You eat the Seudah at the end after your fast, whatever. Go to bed early. Don't party. You have the people here that like party. I don't know why. The American boys in the yeshivas, they like partying already the night of Purim, and they get to they're drunk all night, they're partying all night, and then they don't wake up early. They have to hear the Megillah and some shtiblech at 12 o'clock, whatever, and they wake up late. What a chaval. They mixed it up. The night of Purim is reserved for the davening part, the request, the intimate connection with Hashem, and the day of Purim is when they go all the way. So now, ideally, to daven as early as possible. The custom is by the Baal Shem Tov to daven nets on Purim, if you can. I know most communities, they don't do that, but in Breslov there is a special, you'll see in all Breslov shuls all over, they daven dafka nets, because the Baal Shem Tov made this initiation that on Purim, it's best to daven as early as possible, which is nets on the day of Purim. Right after that, many people already have a Seudah. According to the Kabbalah, it's important to have a Seudah in the morning. So what most people do, they have the first initial Seudah in the morning, and then in the afternoon, they have a second Seudah with the family and friends, etc. Okay? In Breslov shuls, they have a big Seudah. Most of them get drunk already, because in Breslov, they don't know how to drink. They don't know how to drink. They drink once a year. So they get plastered already after like 4 cups already, whatever. So many people, they drink, but they lose out because they can't drink afterwards in the afternoon, which is best ideal time to drink is in the afternoon. But there's a Seudah in the morning. It's good to have that Seudah in the morning. And then already to do the mitzvot, mishloach manot, matanot evyonim, they have a joke that in one shul, you can do the whole shul of one mishloach manot, 2 mishloach manot. A gives to B, and then B gives to C, and they keep on flipping. You can do 1 mishloach manot the whole shul. That's a joke they say. But to do the mitzvot fast, early, and not to wait, he has to give me that nice one, and I'll give him a nice one. Make a simple mishloach manot. Something that a person can use, healthy food, whatever, not junk food and everything. It's good to do something that you know the person will eat, as opposed to all the chocolate bars, all the garbage that they're putting out, and everyone's giving the same thing, and no one wants to eat this stuff because it gets you sick and everything. Give something like a sandwich or whatever, potato kugel, I don't know, something which is healthy, is ideal, that you know that they can use, B'ezrat Hashem, okay? The laws of matanot evyonim, there's many opinions, what's the minimum? Some say 1 shekel, some say 2 shekels, some say enough to buy them like a falafel, 20, 25 shekels. What most people do is they do the mitzvah properly with like 2 people, and then other people, they give a shekel, half a shekel, whatever. Not to go crazy. In other words, to have 2 people that you do the mitzvah properly with. In America, they really go far. They give like 500 shekels, $500. People they do with But here in this country where people don't have the funds, it's best to do the thing properly with two people, and then it's not a halacha class, but just giving practical tips on these two mitzvot. Okay. Sudan afternoon. The climax of Purim is to get to the drinking. Yes, it's enforced. It's something special. Ideally, to get drunk on good wine, not vodka, not whiskey, because nichnas yain yatsa sod. When wine comes in daka, that's when the sod comes out. What's the secret? The inner joy that's stuck inside of you all year round comes out on Purim. Not like you start crying and then you start hitting people. A person who's really sincere and honest and wants to come close to Hashem, on Purim that comes out in full force, simcha bezrat Hashem. So yes, it is influenced. It's emphasized to drink on Purim. That's the goal of everything, to get to the drinking of Purim, to tap into the simcha of Purim that doesn't exist any other day of the year. What's the result? Rabbi Nachman teaches, if you successfully are happy on Purim, you tap into true joy, this will protect you from chametz on Pesach. Okay? Now, chametz on Pesach is not easy, because even if you follow all the laws of Pesach, maximum, it is still humanly impossible that a speck of dust of chametz won't enter your mouth on Pesach, okay? Because the chiyuv is mashu. Mashu. That means anything that comes into my mouth, even mashu, okay? So now, if you don't have divine intervention, you clean the house like the Chabad. They put the aluminum everywhere, right? You know, there's the door handles aluminum. You're eating from the bags. You're doing your best, and still then, if Hashem doesn't intervene, you don't stand a chance. So Rabbi Nachman says what to do that Hashem will protect you from chametz on Pesach is by being happy on Purim. It's an amazing eitzah. Being happy on Pesach protects you from chametz on simcha on Purim protects you from chametz on Pesach. And so what? Okay, I'm protected from chametz on Pesach. That's great. The Arizal teaches anyone who saved 100% from chametz on the 7 days of Pesach won't sin the entire year. So you see, A leads to B leads to C. If you have Purim in your pocket, so that leads to Pesach. Pesach in your pocket, all year round you'll be in a better place. B'ezrat Hashem. So it's the gateway for breakthroughs in your life. Starts on Purim. Now the Breslovers say it's baduk umenuseh. It's tried and tested. This idea of the davening on Pesach, on Purim, the night of Purim, to activate what you need. It's shidduchim and this and that. Things get moving on Purim if you invest rightly. So again, your Purim it's not like a tiny thing. It's a real big thing, and it's a major opportunity to have a major breakthrough in your life, B'ezrat Hashem. Now, for all of this, Rav Nosson wrote a beautiful, beautiful prayer to be said before and during Purim. If you have access to Rav Nosson's prayers, Likutey Tfilot, the 50th gate, part 2, prayer 37, ideally to say it, the Breslovers, they say it 30 days before Purim, they start saying it. They start getting into it. In there, this prayer, Rav Nosson, he dissects you. Everything you're going through in your life, all the challenges, all the confusions, all the ups and downs, and then davening for a Pesach with no chametz, davening to get drunk on Purim, davening to be besimcha, davening to cry out on Tanit Esther, all these things we spoke about, and subduing Haman Amalek, who's the one causing all the difficulties in life. Everything's in this beautiful prayer. It's one of the most beautiful prayers that Rav Nosson wrote. It's the only one that Rav Nosson even told his son, make sure you say this prayer before Purim. It's not to be said on Purim only, but it's a preparation for Purim B'ezrat Hashem. Okay? I think we covered everything, and you got no pizza in the meantime. All right. So this was a major highlight. If I can just mention a chidush, the Megillah says that in the beginning of the Megillah, you have that when Achashverosh finally got established in his kingship, so he made a big feast for all the 127 countries. And then after that, he made a 7-day feast for Shushan, for the people of Shushan. And he invited all the Jews to come. And many Jews from other cities came. And the Megillah goes to explain all the beautiful decorations that Achashverosh made for this ball, for this banquet, etc. So in the description, where it says that there were rods of gold and silver and like marble pillars and everything. So it says chur karpas utchelet in describing the colors of the drapes hanging. There's the word chur. Chur is one of the depictions of the type of drapes hanging. The letter chet in the Megillah is big. When the Sofer scribe writes Megillah Esther on Klaf, the letter chet has to be big. Has to be big, okay? So why is it big? So one of the commentaries in the Megillah, Manot HaLevi, he writes that this 8, chet is Gematria 8, comes to indicate that Achashverosh donned the 8 vestments of the Kohen Gadol at this banquet. Why did he do that? To break the morale of the Jews. When they see the Achashverosh, and he's now like the emperor, and he's wearing the 8 begadim of the Kohen Gadol, his intent was to break the simcha of the Jews. Because the garments of the Kohen Gadol, all the parts, I mean, we can't go into all the details, but Rav Nosson does, they all correspond to simcha. First of all, Kohanim in general, their whole representation is simcha. That's why the Kohanim have restrictions. We can't marry a divorcee, can't marry a widow, because he has to be happy, right? These things make a person sad. The Zohar says that if a Kohen came to work at the Beit HaMikdash, and the guy, the overseer, he saw a Kohen coming to work from that mishmar, and he saw that he was sad, he said, go back home. You're not allowed to work in the Beit HaMikdash today. You can only work in the Beit HaMikdash if you're happy. If they're going to have to come, hi ho, and off we go to work. You have to come with a happy attitude when going to the Beit HaMikdash. If he would come sad, the guy in charge said, go back, you're not allowed to work today. Come another 24 weeks when it's your mishmar again. That's when you come back, okay? So they had the whole idea of the Kohen is simcha. Also the choshen mishpat, all the parts of the vestments is simcha. The idea of simcha. So Achashverosh donned them because he wanted to take the simcha of Am Yisrael, which is all inclusive in the begadim of the Kohen Gadol, who was supposed to be one of the happiest people in the Jewish nation. That's his role of being a Kohen Gadol. He wanted to take that simcha and to bring it into the tumah, into the impurity. Okay? That's why he donned the 8 vestments. But here, the commentary is saying, this is the beginning of Achashverosh's downfall. By him donning the 8 vestments and wanting to steal simcha of truth, simcha of holiness, which only belongs to Am Yisrael. Okay? So by taking that and bringing it to the Tumah, the simcha of Am Yisrael doesn't belong anywhere else, only by the Jewish people. Once he attempted to steal it, that simcha fights back. The simcha of Kedusha can't stay by the Tumah. So that's what led to Achashverosh getting drunk, and then Vashti, the whole story of Vashti, telling her to come undressed, etc., and then killing her, and then the whole salvation leading to the coming of the poor miracle. Also, the 10 sons of Haman, Yimach Shemam, they were involved in delaying the rebuilding of the Beit HaMikdash, right? You know the story that Koresh was the king before. He allowed the rebuilding of the second temple. When Achashverosh came into play, him and the sons of Haman requested to put a stop on the rebuilding of the temple. Why? Because the Beit HaMikdash was the only place in the world that shined a level of simcha that the world cannot handle. The whole goal, Rav Nosson writes, the whole goal of creation is to let the humankind, to experience the highest simcha that exists in creation, which is what? Simchu b'Hashem v'gilu tzadikim. Simcha in Hashem. But the world can't handle the level of simcha. So Hashem created a Beit HaMikdash, which will be a conduit for this high level of simcha. So now Haman and his sons, who represent evil, they wanted to steal, like Achashverosh wearing the 8 garments, they wanted to delay, to stop the building of the Beit HaMikdash, so there should be no conduit for this simcha to go to Am Yisrael in a holy way. They wanted to take it for themselves. By stopping the temple, they want to take it for themselves. Okay? But this again, through the whole thing, here we go. This came from Poland. Wow. Okay? This itself was their downfall. Okay? That they tried to steal Simcha of holiness. This is their downfall. We'll finish with one thing. In 1947, you probably heard this before, in the Nuremberg trials, where 10 of the biggest Nazis were hung, right? And I assume number 11 was Hitler, Yimach Shemo, who committed suicide or whatever. I don't know, number 11. They say that this is like a known thing. One of these 10, he was Hitler's guy responsible not for propaganda, but for going into the media and using the media to show that the Jews are the problem. There's propaganda, which was Goebbels, Joseph Goebbels, but there's another guy, I forgot his name. He was expert in Judaism, in Torah, and everything, okay? When he was hung, he was one of the 10 hung. When he was hung, he just shouted out in German, Purim Festival, Tafshin Zayin, 1947. Purim Festival, Purim Chag Purim in German, 1947. No one knew Bichlal, what in the world what did he meant. So the rabbis who were alive after that, when they heard this, they took a look at the Megillah and they noticed that in the 10 sons of Haman, when the Sofer writes the 10 sons of Haman, there are 3 letters where the shape is different. It's smaller and one bigger. You have Vaizata, the Zayin, and you have a Taf and a Shin. I think Parshandata, the Shin is small there, and you have a Tav. Tav, Shin, Zayin, which corresponds to the year 1947. So they wanted to say that the 10 Nazis who were hung correspond to the 10 sons of Haman. Now what's interesting, just recently came out a clip of Hermann Göring, Yimach Shemo, and all the Germans when they're in the court there in Nuremberg. One of them cracked a joke amongst themselves, and they're all laughing. I saw that. I said, this is the idea that the 10 sons of Haman, like Achashverosh with the 8 garments, they want to take the simcha and bring it into the Tuma. So they were cracking up. You're cracking up. You're such an evil person. You just killed 6 million Jews. Plus, who knows, 50 million other civilians were killed in the war. You caused so much bloodshed and such evilness, such sheker, and you guys are cracking up? You guys are cracking up after all that? So the answer is yes, that's the evil. The evil wants to take the simcha into the tuma, but it doesn't happen. Them being hung released it. Okay? So we should be zoche to be happy on Purim, but really to work on it and daven about it. And if it doesn't happen, don't be broken. Start again, Bezat Hashem. There's always next Purim. Okay, Bezat Hashem. All right, Yasher Koach. Yes, you want to say something?
There's a backstory to that, is that they were supposed to be hung a few months earlier, and then there was a delay, and the delay caused it, instead of being in Tafshin Vav, the delay caused it to be in Tafshin Zayin.
By 1 month?
By 1 or 2 months.
Was Tishrei?
Tishrei, meaning I think it was the Nuremberg hanging was in October, November, but it was supposed to happen earlier before
Rosh Hashanah. Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I also heard it was abnormal of them to hang people. It's not like a common thing they do anymore. Like poison, electric chair, gunshot, to hang people is a very old way of doing this. The fact that it's hanging off there, it's like that was also
Some big rabbi just passed away from the Badatz, Rav Yurovitz. He didn't wake up this morning. He's saying he's a kapara so that we should have no bombs.
I don't know if you mentioned the 10 names.
It's
Small
the
letters?
sound with it.
Yeah, 2 small letters and 1 big one.
Tough
Tafshin Zayin. It's Tafshin
I don't know if you
Zayin.
mentioned that.
Of course I mentioned it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you. Oh no! Oh, wait. So everyone gets a sticker.
Sing a little.
Everyone gets a sticker here.
I'm to say that.
Everyone take a sticker. This QR code has all the classes that I'm giving on this lesson on Simcha. What we spoke about today, take and pass. The lesson we're working on is lesson 24, Likutey Moharan, which Rabbi Nachman talks about the far ramifications of Simcha. In this QR code, you have over 600 classes on this one lesson in Likutey Moharan. It's a 5-year project so far. It's a 4.5-year project. This class will also be posted there, Bezrat Hashem. All right. Thank you very much for shopping. One more joke. One guy, he didn't know where to find Parshat Haman. During the week of Parshat Beshalach, there's a segula on Tuesday to read Parshat Haman. So one guy didn't know where Parshat Haman is, so instead, out of Safek, he read the whole Megillat Esther. Another guy, he davened Shabbos in the Shtiblech, and after Shabbos, he forgot his shtreimel in the Shtiblech. And he forgot that he left his shtreimel in the Shtiblech. So the whole week came by. Friday, he's about to dress up to go to shul. Where's my shtreimel? He felt it's in the Shtiblech. He ran to the Shtiblech. He came in. He saw the gabbai setting up the tables. He said, "Did you see my shtreimel?" He said, "Oh, it's your shtreimel. Take it right now." All week long, no one did tachanun because they saw the shtreimel there. Come on, you didn't get it. They see a shtreimel, so they figure there's someone who's like a bar mitzvah or a brit milah, whatever. One day, guys. Okay.